Gmove and Waza to another event on TGE Date today of movement. The ticker is MOVE. We all got and saw MOVE coming and be listed on different exchanges today, and quite nicely connecting to this topic. Our guest today is Norbert from Nightly, and welcome Norbert to our episode today. How are you doing today, Gmove?
Gmove, all good. Quite happy with allocation, but I haven't sold. I actually posted it, so I'm going to get this on the mainnet. No one knows when the mainnet is happening, but yeah, I'm waiting. Yep.
Yeah, that's actually what I heard. Also, that many people allocate or use the allocation on mainnet rather than claiming. So I think it's maybe only some airdrop hunter which just claimed and leave, but I think that's a very small portion.
Yeah,
yeah.
It kind of makes sense. If the people that are building on movement are not waiting, then this is a red flag. But from what I've seen, and this is coherent across all of the products, I think everybody is waiting for a minute.
Yeah. Fantastic. So let's dive into our episode today. And as always, I would like to know from you, how was your journey into crypto and Web3? What led you into the space? And besides that, maybe how was your first contact with the movement ecosystem?
So it's been a long story. I basically started working at IBM. I don't know if you remember, IBM was working on blockchain called Hyperledger. So I was like a Polish division. So I was working in Poland with Hyperledger. I've done my bachelor's and master thesis. And that was pretty much my first interaction with blockchain, and I quite liked it. And especially because this was growing industry, I was like, hey, let's participate more. And this is how kind of I got started. It was 2017. The market was going from 3K to 20K. ICO boom. Everybody was making money. And then a year later, no one was making any money. But I stick around. I worked for a couple of companies, mostly on Ethereum and Zcash side. So I got to know, some ZK technology, some different blockchains, smart contract development, that kind of stuff. And I wanted to launch my own company. It was, I don't know, 19, something like that, and I couldn't afford a gas fee on Ethereum to deploy a contract, because it was 5K to deploy a contract. It was insane. But this luckily, pointed me towards the Solana. So I actually won hackathon on Solana, actually 2 of them, and got funded by the FTX. Unfortunately, also FTX also collapsed my first startup. So it wasn't that funny at the time. But yeah, from those ashes, I wanted to still build in an ecosystem, and Solana just proved me that, hey, there are coming new blockchains that we are not even remotely aware. And there is going to be a need for a cross-chain wallet. And I was so fed up with all of the extensions for different networks. So Near, Solana, Ethereum, etc. And it was just growing exponentially. So yeah, fuck it. Let's build something that people can actually use. And it's across everything, it's going to be coherent. You know what you are doing. You don't need to mess up anything. That's kind of how Nightly got born. And once we kind of started adding new networks, obviously Aptos and Sui were potential partners, and the networks that, hey, we could expand, and we did. And I think especially Sui integration recently paid off really well. You've seen what's happening is on Sui, so that's really well. Aptos is also growing. And obviously, if we are talking about Aptos movement, it's in the cards, just because movement is basically like Aptos on Ethereum. However weirdly this might sound. So yeah, I think we are like the first wallet to support movement, and I personally wrote like a Aptos standard for wallets. So thanks to that, you don't need two wallets for like Aptos and movement. You can just change chain ID. It's just like tech stuff, but it's really important, and you guys will appreciate it if there is going to be like more networks that are using Aptos stack. Yeah, that's pretty much how we got from like 2016, 17, me in university to like now.
Yeah, amazing career, I would say. Especially winning hackathons on Solana is quite special, I think. And,
it wasn't special back in the days. You know, you couldn't build like anything. Like I actually built a wallet for the first one, if that sounds great. So I built a wallet with like name service, so you can send like, and I think Sam, some background feed from FTX was like the first person to actually register the domain. Yeah, he paid me one Solana. It was like 50 cents back in the days.
Yeah.
But I was like so hyped. Yeah, Sam is using my application.
Yeah, that's so cool. So does it maybe feel similar now, the situation on movement, like a very new ecosystem? Is it comparable to Solana these days?
I think like if we talk about movement like a year ago, yeah, because this was like the first time that we kind of heard about movement and we started working with them. I think right now, movement is like past this. It's already quite big, even though the mainnet is not even live. Yeah. You can just check like market cap. Solana was launching on like 100 million. Movement is like, I don't know, 6 billion or something like that. So yeah, FTV, I guess we are past this, like, wherever it is stage. But we'll see. I think like the growth path, especially from like TVL applications, user base, is going to be pretty similar to Solana.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's actually what we all hope to see on movement, like the growth and the ongoing process. And you already mentioned some words about Nightly and I mean, it's obviously a wallet, which, as you said, started on other chains. But maybe you can like summarize in some sentences what makes maybe Nightly special. You already mentioned something like the cross-chain ability, but maybe there's something more people can learn about Nightly.
So the main idea is to, take all this hassle from you of like managing 10 different extensions for 10 different networks. I'm pretty aware that most of the users that are actually using like a blockchains are using multiple of them. It's almost impossible to be just stuck in one ecosystem, especially if there is, so opportunities around. And I think this is only going to accelerate. There's not going to be a fewer chains. There's going to be more chains. So this was my idea. Like I was so annoyed, not only like with design and how clunky the MetaMask was. I was like, yeah, we need a solution that actually works everywhere. Why I couldn't use a one wallet for Ethereum and Solana? Like, hey, that's obvious for me. This is basically the same stuff. I just want to interact with applications. So this was like the initial idea. Hey, how and why? But once we started, working with this, we figured out that there is, some features that people want. Like for example, they want to see their DeFi positions inside the wallet. And so far, I think we are the only one on Solana, on Sui, on Aptos, and on multiple other blockchains that are doing that, right? It's your wallet. You should see everything that you have there. And we are trying. Obviously, it's really hard to have everything. But I think we have like 99% coverage. And I think this is really beneficial that people are, seeing, and they can, just pull up their phone and see, hey, how's my, position on Orca or Radium is doing, right? So this is, something that we want to go forward to the users and ask them like, hey, is this good? Do you guys like it? What can we improve? And there's also like a bunch of features like we're trying to be proactive. I don't know if you see like side panel. I think this is like this year feature. And I think a lot of wallets are, kind of realizing like, hey, this is actually superior UX from what we've kind of experienced. So yeah, I think we are the first one, and still on like Sui, Aptos, we're the only one that are doing. On Ethereum probably also. On Solana there is like few that actually already arranged into this new schema. But yeah, like if you check like on movement, right, we are the only one. That there is no one besides us that is doing. So we want to be on top of our game, provide the best service, the best features, the best stuff that we can, and actually be like what user wants, right? We don't to be like this black box that hey, we are just Ethereum or just Solana, just everything, because trends are going to change, and we want to be with users. So if the users already kind of trusted us, they feel safe and comfortable with keeping, money inside the 90, which, we've been already on the market for a few years, and there has been zero hacks or there's like zero issues related to 90. So I think this is like a good proof to show like, hey, our commitment, but also how we already did past those few years.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe you can also elaborate. I saw you only not only have like the web version, but also a mobile version. Is that something you focus on as well? Like people going on mobile?
Obviously, like a lot of users right now are getting into mobile and mobile only. And let's be honest, like wallet is critical part, because usually how the stuff works, you have a wallet, and inside the wallet you open up different applications. That's how the magic works. And this is also a case for Nightly. So we are definitely putting a lot of effort into the mobile, especially like a swap features or like directly staking, discoverability of the applications. This is also a big thing, because there is no like I don't know how to search bar. There is a search bar, but it's much harder to kind of find what we are actually looking for. So we have like cute UI to see the most popular applications, to kind of explore, see, check what is actually happening. Yeah, so on mobile side, we are constantly trying to give what we can and improve on top of it. Obviously, it's a little bit different, since like a lot of like blockchain stuff is actually not mobile friendly. So we are trying our best. But so far, I think like we are on movement. We are the only mobile wallet. On Sui and Aptos, there is like I think only the native ones are mobile. There is no like other, but I might be wrong, obviously. So yeah, mobile is big and it's here to stay. And I would say that we are actually putting more work towards mobile than extension, because we see the users, we see the growth, and we actually think that this might be like a gateway. At some point, it might work like you don't have extension at all. You just connect, with your mobile using some kind of scan the QR code or that kind of stuff. But obviously, this will require some kind of user engagement and like user courage. But yeah, I think this is the way.
Yeah, amazing. I also did already one episode with Razor Wallet, which at that time I think they don't have a mobile version yet, but they have like a similar approach as you said. They wanna get the community as close as possible to the product development. to get like the newest trends and user desires get into the product. So yeah, great to see
Yep.
this in Nightly as well. Is it also planned to, I don't know if you maybe you work together with other dexes or aggregators or something to like, or bridges maybe to bridge between different chains? Is that something you're looking at as well?
So we usually have like full suite of products. So the baseline is obviously like a swap and staking. This is, I think we have like 100% coverage for networks because those are basics, right? We recently started experimenting with something called like Earn. And basically what it boils down, you have like a shortcut to borrow lending. So you are actually lending their tokens out. And it's, in my opinion, is a good path towards like getting more user engagement and getting users more comfortable interacting with a blockchain. And cross chains is always crazy. And doing anything cross chain is potentially dangerous. So yeah, we are working on getting cross-chain swaps. Nothing is live yet, but we have like good MVPs, not only for like cross-chain swaps, but we have also cross-chain aggregation. So you can imagine that you have, I don't know, your money on Base, Arbitrum, Ethereum, like on 10 USDC on each of those networks. And if you go to like Uniswap will see that you have like 30. So this is like abstraction layer that we are currently working on. There is no ETA for releasing it, but you can imagine this is also something that is applicable for movement, since movement is part of EVM. I imagine that if you go to like some, I don't know, Meridian DEX on movement, you will see like 30 bucks, even though you don't have any kind of USDC on movement. So this is a level of like abstraction that we would love to achieve. Obviously, cross-chain is a nightmare. Everybody hates that, but bridges are a nightmare. But at some point, I think we're going to hit that scale that user will not even be aware on what blockchain he is actually.
Okay, yeah. And from the UX perspective, are there like some hot topics you are looking at, like from the UX perspective? For example, I don't know, like Face ID and stuff is probably like a standard thing, but maybe also integration into mobile apps or something like that.
Yeah, so like obviously Face ID is like baseline. We also have passkeys, even on extension. So I don't think anyone has that. But from a UX perspective, maybe this is like more like user engagement. We want to be like a first wallet to actually push like full gamification system. Have you used Duolingo?
Duolingo, the game, language
learning period, like
yes, yeah.
So basically, we're kind of looking at them what they did good with gamification, and I think they are like at the top of the line in terms of like actually engaging users. So this is the same stuff that is going to probably be happening in Nightly. So we'll have like streaks, daily quests, that kind of stuff that will not only teach you how to use wallet, but also how to engage with different applications or different blockchains, move around. Yeah, this is something that we are looking forward to doing. And obviously, one more UX stuff is solving the gas issues. So I imagine that at some point, gas will not be required for doing anything. It will just happen, right? So if you want to swap, you will magically get gas from some place, different place, and it will just work. You don't need to, first of all, like bridge Ethereum and then bridge USDC, right? This is not going to be an issue. And this is something also that we are working on.
Cool. Yeah, I really like to speak to you guys, which are like working on those products, because they are in the end the stuff which everybody uses on a daily basis. So I mean, that's sometimes there are topics which we can't even imagine yet, but yeah, you guys work daily on it, so that's interesting to see. And yeah, besides that, maybe we can do a little shift from your product into the movement side. Maybe are there any differences for your product, maybe, or from the development side, which were maybe new from movement compared to other chains, like from the technical side, but also maybe community.
Yeah, so like I think let's start with technical side, because this is like the simplest one. Movement as a, let's say, from a point of user or from a point of developer, is pretty similar to Aptos. Like I would say like 95% is Aptos. And I think that's good. A lot of tools, stuff, you can just basically bridge or like take from Aptos and really just work on the movement. Obviously, movement is a layer 2 of Ethereum, so that's like a small twist. It's not like sovereign network. So all of the stuff that is confirmed on movement is then confirmed on Ethereum. Yeah, that's pretty casual stuff for layer 2. Yeah, so in a case of development, if you knew or know Aptos, you are pretty much at home. You don't need to, re-event everything. Pretty much most of the work is done. And yeah, from a community standpoint, yeah, so right now we can kind of say that the movement is mostly community, because there is no mainnet. Oh, there is mainnet, but it's not like public. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like people are tweeting about it, interacting with the testnet. There's plenty of like applications. We are part of it, obviously. Yeah. So the movement is basically a movement of people, right? However strangely this might sound. And I quite like it. I think they done a good job. People are happy. There is no like a lot of complaints that, hey, I didn't get an airdrop, or like I was scammed, I got too little, too much. Like I think pretty much everybody's in line. Like, hey, you got what you're supposed to do, and there is also like more incentive to go like, hey, to the mainnet to actually do interact with applications, which they are going to launch within a few weeks, right? It's not like the mainnet is a year ahead. It should be live within a few weeks, and most of the applications should be working there. So this is what I am kind of looking forward. And obviously the community, I'm mostly in like developer community, that makes sense. Everybody is pretty nice. I've met a bunch of people in Bangkok this year. So that's how I got the shirt. I see that you also have the movement. Yeah, so it's cool. Smart guys, and I think we're going to build great stuff together.
Yeah, definitely. And we had like the Parthenon testnet, which I think you guys also had some quests on. Maybe you can share some insights from that perspective, which or if the Parthenon boosted your social appearance somehow, or like on social media. Do you guys have something like a Discord server? Is that...
Yes, so we have Discord, we have Telegram. So I personally, my Twitter is stuck on like 10K followers. Nothing changed for like a year. I don't know why. But yeah, the nightly Twitter, I don't know, got from like 100K to like 200K. I don't know, like numbers are bonkers, right? So the numbers also that we see inside the users, this is something that I'm kind of proud of. We just from a movement, we have over 100K monthly users. So I guess that's a lot.
Yeah.
And overall, like the wallet itself got to like 500K a month. And
Yeah.
I think this is also like people just downloaded nightly for like movement to see what's around, and they saw like, hey, you can use it for Aptos, you can use it for Sui, Solana, Ethereum, and like, hey, I might stick around. I think that's kind of what happened, and we actually have like a lot of users that came because of the nightly, not because of the movement, and they stuck around just because like, hey, it actually works and I like it. Yeah.
Perfect. And did you have the chance to get like community-based improvement requests or something, or feedback? Is that something you received from the community as well? Or?
Yes, so we have like swarmed with tickets, and I just don't have enough time to go through all of them.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of feedback, and I think we really got to know like what are users expecting and how it's actually working. Because basically nightly was live across all of the like movement history. So like since day one till like right now, where we are just ahead of the mainnet, I think we've changed like a lot, and a lot of stuff got fixed. And there is also like features that people just requested, like for example, watch address. I know I personally wasn't interested in watching any of the address inside my wallet, but surprisingly people are. So yeah, we're rolling this out, I think today.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of features that basically might look small in like hindsight, because like in a wallet, like hey, watch address might not seem big, but there are users that actually hey, I no longer need Explorer. That's it, right? So this is for me, even though this might be a small fraction of the users, like I don't know, 5%, but those 5% actually generate more engagement than 90%. Yeah, so we are kind of looking forward to like engaging with power users, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's always good, and that's what I wanna bring on the Movecast, of course, as well, to animate the community to interact as much as possible with the projects, because by that the community and the projects can like to grow together and improve better. And yeah, that's I think what is like the biggest asset we as community have and can give back to the builders. And yeah, when we talk about builders, I think you have a quite impressive career which you started. I mean, building with 17 years, it's quite special, I think. And yeah, maybe to close our episode for today, I would be interested which like tip or which advice would you give to young builders today if they want us, or how they can start on building in the crypto space?
Wow. So this is difficult, right? I would love to say, hey, just do this, and everything will be solved. Um, yeah, so if you're a builder, learn Rust, learn TypeScript, and learn, I would say, Move. Okay, it doesn't matter, like Sui Move, Aptos Move, Movement Move, just Move. Okay,
Yeah.
Move language, and those are three languages that you need for everything. Okay, you are good. You don't need Java. You don't need Python. You don't need anything. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the first like advice, and the second advice, actually try to help on GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bunch of like public repositories. Basically, all of the like foundations or like projects have public repository. So, and they have also a public issues. So you might be like, hey, I want to solve this issue. You might start with something small. Hey, Aptos or movement needs some kind of documentation for this feature. Hey, you will need to understand it, prepare yourself, see if you understand this, and then create some kind of documentation. Not only will this like teach you how the blockchain works or like some small stuff works, but it also gave you opportunity to actually collaborate and engage with actual real developers. So that's the second advice. And the third advice, just do hackathons. Like, there is nothing better than hackathons. Not only you are getting paid, like you can get real money just starting with hackathons. And I actually know a few people that are just doing hackathons. They're not launching anything. They're just doing hackathons. And this will not only teach you like how much stuff you need to know, but will also teach you this stuff. Because to ship a project, on a first hackathon, yeah, you might get stuck on a, I don't know, backend or smart contract. On a second hackathon, you will get stuck on front end. On third hackathon, yeah, your application will crash in production. And on fourth hackathon, yeah, you might get like fifth place. So that's probably the story or like the path ahead of you. But there is nothing to discourage yourself. Obviously, if you have technical background, I was lucky to be, like a computer science background. But if you are not, this is also nothing that, there is no rules that you cannot participate. I would even argue that a lot of stuff that you need to learn, you will not even like get familiar in university. So just start doing something. Stop watching podcasts. Stop watching like developers doing their stuff. Just start writing, right? Deploy your contract, go through the documentation, see what you have, and do it over and over again. That's the best path. There is no other way. I don't know any developers that were just like, hey, I'm developer and I'm just doing my stuff, right? This is not how it works. You actually need to build few crap stuff before you actually build something good. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic tip. I think, you have to get active. You have to reach out to real projects, real, as you said, repositories, real issues, and I think that's a great way how you can get successful in a Web3 crypto career as you did. So, yeah, thank you very much for showing up on TGE Day, and I hope it was some pleasure for you as well today. And hopefully we see soon again, maybe on another meetup in another event. You said you were in Bangkok. Maybe we will have some European event soon as well. So
hopefully. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for the invite. Hopefully we can do this again. Maybe I will launch a podcast once Nightly hits
about
like
technical
10
issues.
million users. But it was great. Yeah, today is the TGE. But what I'm looking for is the TGE of Mainnet.
Yes, we all are that, and as we said, most people will probably claim on Mainnet, so the craziness will be there.
Yeah, claim using Nightly. Yeah,
of course. Great. So thank you very much, Gmove, and Norbert. Gmove.